I am officially recording.
Cool. Hey, did you see on there that we're on Spotify?
Did I see that we were on Spotify?
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to look yet, but I am.
I sent
You sent me the link?
you the link in our chat in the robot.
Ooh, in the robot even. Let me check and see on that robot. Go to chat. This is some good content.
Here's what I'm telling you. I'm coming to you with 3 things.
1.
1, hot soup. 2,
Okay.
cold beer. 3, corrections.
Okay.
So, I knew we were on Spotify because I uploaded episode 3, which I think...
Whoa.
Whoa, sorry, remind me, which city has a group of roaming motorcyclists?
I
think it might be you, dude.
I guess it's me.
I think it might be you.
Oh my gosh, those guys are so loud their sound got all the way into my studio.
Very good content.
Yeah, I know.
So,
this is some good content.
I was editing episode 3, and I, was listening through it, and on top of me being hard to understand because I'm laughing at my own jokes, which I'm sure is very endearing to people.
Yeah.
There's a point where about 8 times in a row we refer to 40 ounces of malt liquor, like a 40, right?
Yeah.
As Colt 45, which is a gun.
Yeah.
And not what a 40 is. So we do that about 8 times in a row.
Really funny.
Unless, maybe, I don't know. I've always called them 40s, and I think you referred to them as Colt 45, and I was just like, yeah, Colt 45.
Yeah.
Proceeded to say it a bunch of times, and we both go back and forth about drinking Colt 45s, which, isn't a thing.
I think that there is a drink called a Colt 45.
There's a gun called a Colt 45.
No, I am also fairly sure that at local stab and grabs, you can get yourself a Colt 45, which is like a malt liquor.
Oh, you know what? I take the correction back.
Boom.
A Colt 45 is a malt liquor.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what they had at Juniors, but
they had something. That's for sure.
They had 40s. I don't know what. Okay, well then never mind. Correction, redacted. Because we would drink cans of Colt 45, which is even worse than bottles of.
Were you drinking cans? I don't remember that. Oh wait, yeah, no. Yeah,
well,
you're right.
I did it more than just with you. Anyway, the other correction is that when talking about the show Riverdale, which boy, we did a lot in those early episodes. Even though there's like 7 missing episodes, we still managed to hit all the ones where we bring up Riverdale.
Yeah.
We refer to the main character as Archie Bunker. His name is Archie Andrews. Archie Bunker is the old racist man from All in the Family.
Oh.
So that's wrong. I don't say this because I care, and I don't say this because I want to encourage people to send corrections, because boy howdy, I don't. Now I'm rethinking why I even brought this up. Anyway, those are silly things we did.
Okay.
And me laughing at my own jokes. Which is pretty uncomfortable to listen to.
Is that all you had? Was that the major correction? Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that I was able to correct. Okay, good. Yeah, corrections are corrections, and those are good for a healthy audience engagement. So I don't know if this is going to derail anything that you had to say, but I had this thought. And I think this is something that the culture could benefit from. I think that there should be something called like Left Shark of the Week. Do you remember Left Shark?
I do. And let me before you get into this, let me tell you, I had a very big day at work. The place I work for, we have a big event every year, and today was that one. So, while yes, I am coming to you with cold beer and hot soup, I'm also coming to you with not a lot of energy. So if you want to talk to me about Left Shark, that sounds
perfect. So Left shark is this, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that had managed to miss this entire phenomenon, I'm putting phenomenon in air quotes. There was at the Super Bowl, the one that Katy Perry did. I don't know which Super Bowl it was. I don't know who played. I don't know who won.
Who cares?
But, exactly. And the one thing that got away from it was there is this split second where Katy Perry is dancing with two sharks. Not actual sharks, so people in shark costumes. And there is one shark on the right that is just like doing the dance moves. And the dance moves are just like what you would think a guy dressed as a shark would do as a dance move. Just like putting your hands in the air and like kind of waving them and like not doing too much of anything.
He mostly just has giant flippers for arms. Yeah, so he can't really do a lot.
Yeah. And so on the other side of this is the left shark. And left shark is just like fumbling and bumbling its way through this entire interaction. Like it manages to like hit itself in the face twice and then just kind of like slap its leg while the other one is going like basically it goes like left arm, right arm, down, down, left arm. Like that's just it. And then it just like slaps itself in the face, hits like goes across its chest, hits itself in the face with the other fin, and then like puts it down. And like it's just like it is like this very, very like this moment of like you only had to do one thing, which was like nail this super easy choreography and just like goofed it all up.
It's so beautiful because it's the Super Bowl, so it's like a huge deal, right? Mm-hmm. See, now I'm not going to laugh through the whole conversation because as I know from episode 3, it's very obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl, so it's a huge deal. And you're a dancer at the Super Bowl, which is a huge deal. But you are in a shark costume, so like it's not as big a deal, and it's super easy choreography, so it's still even less of a big deal, but it's still the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you're just watching this person do such a bad, like it's clear immediately like, oh, they don't know the moves. Like they don't know like, the very, very easy moves.
Yeah. And it's like, it's so great because had there just been one shark, you never would have noticed it. But it is this one shot of Katy Perry dancing, and it's the juxtaposition of these two sharks. One of them is just like, and I say nailing it, but just like doing the thing. And the other one is like totally goofing up. And this came at like, I'm not going to say the height of, but it came at, one of the times where you could easily become a meme, where like the internet would take your presence of doing something and just run it into the ground. And so left shark for a very long time was this huge deal. Or for like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe even like into March, no one was talking about it. But for a few weeks, left shark was this big deal, and people were just being like, I am left shark, like LOL, look at me, like I can't do anything right, da 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 da. And
it was famous for like one internet year, which could range anywhere from like 15 minutes to like Harambe, which is like an actual year.
Yeah. And
an internet year of time.
Yeah. And so there are other things that have made their way into this kind of like flash in the pan status of being incredibly popular for a second and then gone forever. And like another one would be the black and blue or the gold and white dress thing or like the Yanny and Laurel sort of thing. Just like these things that make a huge impact and then are gone forever. Much like, to some degree, Fyre Festival before those documentaries came out. Big deal, and then it was gone forever. And so I think there is I have a new addition to what could be like the left shark of what we're experiencing right now. And I don't know how much you've heard of this, and I wanted to see if I could like pick your brain on this subject because it's something that you're more closely related to than I am, whether or not you know about this thing. Have you heard Old Country Road?
Is this the rap song that's not a rap song?
This is the country song that is not a rap song. Or a rap song that is not a country song.
My wife told me about this morning. I saw like something a headline, and I thought it was about racism, and I was like, I can't do this today. Mm-hmm. So I skipped it. But then she explained it to me this morning, and it was very, very funny.
Yes. So
please enlighten me. I'm familiar enough. Like, my wife told me this morning. Also, I have follow up about my wife later in the show, but she told me about it this morning, and it sounds very funny.
So there's a couple of things that have to be understood before we go into the zenith that is Old Town Road. So to understand it, we have to know a few things. Number one, SoundCloud rappers. SoundCloud rappers are this like music sharing software where you can put on just anything that you can put in any song, any whatever you want. And there are a number of rappers, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Triple Red, Lil Baby, and Lil Uzi Vert, like just to name a few that have become famous through this way. And it is both cool and terrifying because you can get this like actual form of what seems to be democracy coming from like streams or from people wanting to get famous through unconventional means, a la like not going through a record label. And so you have a lot of these rappers that are, albeit some of them are super not great, and they are becoming wildly successful just through going on this music sharing software. And then from there getting to sign with record labels and things, and they're not having to do this like grooming process that a lot of artists have had to do throughout most of like produced music history, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So there are a lot of rappers coming out of this, and a lot of people are trying to make their name. But most of the people that are becoming famous are the ones that aren't like doing really any like lyrically impressive stuff, but rather just making dumb but easy to dance to music, and that's like loud and obnoxious but is getting them like really famous. So like, who's to say what's wrong? And there is this one rapper named Lil Nas X, like so little and then NAS X, and he is like a million other rappers on SoundCloud. And a while ago, probably last December, he made a track called Old Town Road. And Old Town Road is this Frankenstein mix of country music that has a genuine twang to it. Like in his voice, he has a very nice rise and fall that you would attribute to country music. And he has this lyrics that are like, they could either be seen as like making fun of a country lifestyle or paying homage to a country lifestyle. And I'll get into why that's a point of contention in just a moment. But the lyrics are, I'm going to take my horse to the old town road. I'm going to ride till I can't no more. And he's like talking about just riding his horses and like wearing Wranglers and like all of these like country, like Mad Lib sort of thing. So this track is being fumbled and bumbled around Twitter for a while. And then we have to go back a little bit farther. We're going to go back again.
I do need a point of clarification.
Yes.
So it is currently 2019.
It's currently 2019.
It is the spring of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
When you're saying last December, do you mean this December of 2018?
I'm referring to the December of 2018.
I didn't know if this was like several years or several months. Got it. So,
this is several months.
Several months. Got it.
So back a little further, there is this app called TikTok, formerly Musical.ly. And it is this kind of Vine-esque app where you can like do videos of yourself lip syncing, or you can do like your own little skits and stuff. And so it went from being Musical.ly, and Musical.ly was like popular kind of, but TikTok has taken on a whole life of its own. It's becoming this very, very massive and like extremely hard to ignore like presence online. And so a lot of times in this app, they will do these like challenges where it's like the whatever challenge, and the challenge is just like act silly and do a dance. And it's just like like, for example, when Drake did that In My Feelings challenge where it was people dancing outside of their cars, if you remember that from last summer. And so, yeah. And so there was this, and the name is genuinely funny. It's called the Yeehaw Challenge. And it is these people that like the start of the song Old Town Road has a very very country-esque, like kind of like sing-songy intro, the way you would like have a cowboy sing a song. And then these 808 drums come and out of nowhere, and it makes this like, it becomes a trap song. And Lil Nas X himself refers to it as country trap, which is a genre that he says he invented. Sure.
He made up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard country
exactly.
trap, so like, sounds like he invented it, yeah.
So Lil Nas X is now like making this song where people on the app TikTok are doing this, like they're kind of pretending to be walking around like doing their own lives, and then the second the beat drops and it becomes a country trap song, like it jumps to them wearing like a cowboy outfit and like kind of do-si-doing around, like, and so you'd think that one of those would be fine, but because it's a challenge, it is a million of those. And a lot of people are doing their own take on them, whatever. It's kind of like the Harlem Shake, another Left Shark. Probably the big, it predates Left Shark, but the Harlem Shake, same joke. There is this big lead up, and the second the beat drops, people are doing something silly. X plus Y equals Z. Like it is the mathematical formula that has been around forever. And so with all of this attention happening on this song, there was like a lot of downloads happening of it. So Billboard, like the song released on actual, like you can get it on Spotify, and on Spotify through Billboard, it was on the top country tracks of the week or whatever. And it was number 19. And it was also on the Billboard Hot 100. And so those are two different things, but like, you know, one is for country music and one is just for like music that is popular from here on out. And so what happens is, and this is when things get into the weeds. So had it just been that meme of people dancing to a silly song, it would have been totally, it would have gone away forever. It would not have permeated into society or caused what is happening now.
Are we going to talk about racism?
I'm not going to direct it towards racism because I feel like a lot of people are, but I'll get there. Don't you worry.
I think, hey, let me say, I think conversations about racism are really valuable. This show is my escape from.
No. We're not going to talk about.
I don't want to talk about racism.
Can you trust me and say that I'm not going to talk about that? I'm going to talk about another thing that's happening that I want to talk to you specifically about. That's not racism. So
I think it's important that people talk about racism and diagnose when people are being racist. I just don't want to talk about it on the show. I just think it's important, but just not right here.
Okay, sure. All right. So anyway, the song. Two things happen at once. One, the song rises on the Billboard 100. So that means the song is getting more popular. However, the song is now gone from the country 100.
This is what I saw and bummed me out. Yeah.
So it means that it was taken off the country track. And so it is no longer considered a country song.
Because it's a parody of country music?
Because people perceived it to be a parody. But Lil Nas X is saying, and kind of going on the record and being like, this is not a parody. This is something that like, because he's from Georgia, he's from Atlanta, and he has been trying to like really put in the air, like, this is something that I care about, and like, just like, and like, kind of like putting in the way that like, this is like a country music song as much as the other country music song is.
You shouldn't just assume because he's black that.
Well, that's not what we're talking. You're the one doing this.
Right?
You're the one doing this.
Like, oh, well, he's black, so he must be kidding. He couldn't actually enjoy country culture because like black people couldn't possibly enjoy that. All right,
now
I'm out. I'm gonna drink my beer.
Now that's what I think that people are jumping to. But I'm gonna sidestep to another thing that has been happening for a while, and I think that the presence of Lil Nas X is actually shedding this to light more than any other thing has.
Sure.
So a lot more silly things happen. And by the way, the song is a country song. I certainly believe it is a country song, but I'll get to that. And I think that it falls within the lines of what it means to be a country song. But it's not a good song. Like it's
these are your opening statements. You haven't gotten to your point. Your opening statements.
Yeah, this is all of the background information you need to get to the question I'm going to ask.
Sure.
So it's like it's genuinely super odd. At one point in the song, he says, "I got lean all in my bladder," and that's a line, and it's dumb. It's a dumb song.
I'm not saying he's a good rapper.
Exactly, and so. Like it's one of those things where like the country 100 and the country music industry kind of shot itself in the foot by like saying that this is not country music. Because then a few more silly things happen. One, everyone gets outraged because of the racism that they believe is happening. And then out of heckin' nowhere, Billy Ray Cyrus of Achy Breaky Heart and Miley Cyrus fame comes out of the weeds and says like, hey, I love this song. I love what you're doing. This is country as much as anything else is. And then he records a remix of it with Lil Nas X. So the remix of the song is Billy Ray Cyrus singing the intro and then Billy Ray Cyrus doing a verse in the middle of it, and it's not good. And
as you would expect.
But it has become the most popular song in America. And I think it is like riding the wave of this justice or whatever. But I think the thing that I'm most interested in is like, so say for example, let's take out for the fact that he is a black man from Atlanta. And let's say and let's say this. What he's doing is he's introducing trap music to country music. And I think that for people that have been listening, like for the gatekeepers, for people that have been listening to country music for so long, the ones that are the purists, the ones that have this like banjo, guitar, upright bass, and kind of like fiddle sort of understanding of country music, a la Dolly Parton and like all of these like very old country stars. I think
Hank Williams and
when they're saying that, I think they have a point that this is something that is wildly different from country music of the past. However, the question that I am the most interested in is that I think what they inadvertently did was they accidentally revealed their own hypocrisy, because a lot of people have been now showing that if you listen to country music from today, no country, because the reason why the reason why it was taken off the Billboard 100 was, I mean, like, coded or not, what they said was it doesn't have enough of the attributes and elements of a country song,
right? Made by white people.
I think that there is some validity in that, if there was validity in that. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying. Yes.
If you were to say that, and it's like, okay, yeah, because all the rest of these songs sound this way, and this song sounds this way. Okay, yeah, case closed, wrapped up. However, none of the songs in the country Hot 100 or Billboard 100 sound like country songs. None of them have the pillars that they're talking about when it means to sound like a country song. If you go and listen, most of them sound like pop songs. Most of them have this like 1, 2, 3, 4 like snap on 2 and 4 type beats with like only a spattering of banjo or guitar to just kind of like as a framing device to hold the song together. But I think this is a critique that's been around for a while, and that's something that needs to be brought up. And I know you listen to your country, Sam. You listen to country music more than I do.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's something you've noticed, that a lot of country music has been taking a step away from the things that it was founded upon and kind of making its way into this poppy and like Mad Libby lyric style, if that makes sense, where you're saying things that you're just saying country words for the sake of country words. Like you're not talking about anything that is impactful, like Jolene a la Dolly Parton, or like these other country songs of the past. You're just saying country words. Like the one that is like, and this has been happening since like my childhood or my like upbringing, and because like one of the songs I remember the most of being very egregious of this was the song "Shake It For Me, Country Girl," where it was a song about, it was a pop song. It was a dance pop song, and they just at one point it said like, "Spin me around this big old barn, something something something, grandma's yarn." And it's like, you're just saying country, like you just like looked up like what are country words, and then like put those into a song that had nothing to do with a country, that had nothing to do with country music. And I don't know if like that is a thing that you have also noticed that has been happening in country music.
I do have a lot of thoughts about this. This is one of my 14th draft ideas.
Good.
Boy, I hope the idea of 15 drafts has made it into the show, because I feel like we talk about it every episode. It'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
If not, if I deleted this in the past, it's a running thing that Zach and I talk about, that every idea is stupid until you go through it like 15 times, and then you finally refine it down to something that isn't stupid. Doesn't even make it good. It just is just not actively stupid. So this is something I figured would come up eventually, so I practice talking about this all the time. And I don't know. I don't see that how this topic isn't a bummer, because like, yes, you're right about so like a running joke. Where do I start?
In 1967.
No, this is why it's 14 drafts.
Mm-hmm.
So I you have a joke that I'm Country Sam because my senior year of college, I started listening to country music, and then I of course moved to Music City, the home of country music, and I like country music. I don't know. I like it enough that I listen to it at the radio on a pretty regular basis. It's fun. It's nice. It's a nice break from constantly listening to, Common or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a nice break because it's kind of about nothing a lot of the time. About 50%. So I'm not an expert on country music. I don't really know anything about it, but I like it. It sounds good on the radio. But about 50% of the songs on the radio fall into this category that I think of as that's country to me. That's the genre.
Yeah.
And really it's about 50%. The remaining 50% can be pretty diverse. There's the my girl left me, my dog died kind of songs, but there's a diversity within the other 50% of songs. But 50% of the songs on the radio are that's country to me songs. And essentially what that is a song where they just list adjectives and nouns that describe it's identity building. It is a song to say, hey, you put your identity in being a country person, whatever that means. And that's in quotes, country person. Here are the building blocks to that identity. Here is what you need to like and do and believe in to fit this identity. It's a very identity-driven genre, and rap has the same thing. I don't notice it as much as I do with country music, where it really is. There's so many songs. There's some that are really reductive and really insulting if you're not a part of the country identity.
Yeah.
There's one song in particular that I hate. That's just they're just talking about hanging out with their grandpa and riding in a truck, and the chorus is if you probably don't understand what I'm saying. You think I'm speaking a different language, but that's and it's nah, dog. You're talking about fishing. I know what fishing is. I know I grew up in a city. I live in a city. I love the city. I also hung out with my grandpa and rode in a truck. My dad had a truck. We rode in a truck all the time. We went fishing all the time. That's not anything. It's nothing. It's a kind of vehicle. It's a truck. It's just a truck. It's a normal thing that people have. My dad had a garden and he needed to haul manure into our backyard. We lived in a suburb. It's a very normal thing. You don't need boots to do this.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed this as well in a more grand sense of on the Twitter culture. You'll see people talking about down home what it means to grow up country, and it's having solo cups instead of glass, and it's what I was I had that, and then
everyone
loving to see your family, loving to see your cousins at a family reunion. What what is happening? What? So that's why are you the gatekeeper of that idea?
Right. And so then, and the chorus of all these songs are something along the lines of that's country to me. Is let me explain the song that I love that does fit into this genre, but I really like, and we've talked about it on the show before, is
what makes a Sunday. What I love rather. Yeah.
What I love about a Sunday, which is just a that's country to me song. I mean, that really is. It's just a list of things. It's not about anything in particular except for building the identity of that's country to me. And when you notice it, boy, do you notice it, because it's half. It's like every other song. Half the songs on the radio.
Yeah.
And what is so interesting is a lot of these songs are pitched as a conversation to the other, but they're obviously the audience is people who want to have a country identity, like the one it's like you think I'm speaking a different language, which is so it's because the things he says are so normal that it's so insulting and frustrating. But the audience is country people, and it is saying you are different than them. They will never understand you. I'm going to list things that literally everyone likes, but that are so general, but sort of the it's not a confirmation bias. It's you have bad data. It's a bad data set. Oh, what's that called? Availability heuristic, right? So the only data you're pulling from is people who listen to country music, right?
Yeah.
So like you can assume these people probably have a country identity. So you can say super general things, and it's not like you're going to run into me and be like, well, what are you talking about? I'm not a country person, and I do all of the things that you're talking about. Those are so normal, right? You're pulling from a data set that already believes they are a country person. And then you're saying, you drink out of cups and wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't understand you. They're the other. They think you're speaking a different language. And that is the frustrating sort of like gross side of all of those songs. Again, what I love about a Sunday isn't really that way. I don't know. There's 700 of these. I don't know. You are already thinking of one, right?
Sorry, there's an ambulance going to put out the fire that was put by this motorcycle gang.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of frustrating because some of them are nice and are just like promoting being nice, like "Humble and Kind," which is a good song that is just a bunch of adjectives and nouns, but it's like a nice song about like here's a way to be. But it's just a values song. It's just saying like here's a way to be humble and kind, and it's just a list of identity pillars to say this, but it's nice. But then there are some that are like, so for example, there's this town in near Nashville called Mount Juliet, and whenever you drive through it, there's a particular sign that I've noticed that it says City of Mount Juliet, and then someone has put like one of those little yard signs, like one of the little cardboard, like an election sign, like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like a little square yard sign, and it says Patriot City, and all over Mount Juliet, there's all this like stuff about the troops and like American flags everywhere, and like very like sort of this performative patriotism of like, I mean, yeah, I like the troops too. I don't talk about it all the time, but like, why is that? You know what I mean? Anyway, but like Patriot City, like, well, wait a minute, as opposed to what? You know what I mean? Like that's what's so weird about the like being country means you love your family, and it's like, as opposed to who? Like who? What are you trying to say? And that's what bugs me about that kind of music, is like it when you put these general good things and frame them as like rural as opposed to urban, it's like it creates as a byproduct this idea of city people as, and again, this is what country is, as opposed to, right? Like, this is what country is.
Like, city people are like, if you're not familiar with anyone in the city, like your view of them would be that they are just like career driven and like don't care about their families, and they don't appreciate the little things in life, and they're like,
or just not this.
Yeah.
Right?
But like, what is not that? What the thing that is not that is like, just like, because if everything they're talking about is, and I haven't heard What I Love About a Sunday, but I'm assuming it's just like things that you like. It's just things that everyone likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is the difference about that song, is it's What I Love About a Sunday. It's about going to church and like fishing. But like, again, I grew up in the suburbs and we went fishing all the time. Like, we got in our automobile and drove to a lake. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, we didn't walk down the mud path behind our ranch or behind our barn, but like, whatever. I went fishing. Anyway, that's not about me. I'm trying to say, there's a lot of identity politics in country music that can be frustrating and very much builds this model of what a person should be, as opposed to whatever, not us.
Yeah.
There's also this other thing that I have much less to say about, which is country rap. Country rap is totally a thing. It's absolutely a thing. If you've turned on the radio, country rap is a thing. If you don't think it is, you're fooling yourself.
Because we've known about country rap for a long time. Because Bubba Sparks is a country rapper. He's from Georgia or wherever you like.
Just even smaller, just like songs. Like, again, I only listen to this on the radio, so like blah blah blah. Don't at me. But like, you hear it on the radio all the time. It's just like this constant where like the middle verse is rap. It just is. Like, listen to it. It's rap. It's not good rap. but it's rap. Like, it just is. Like, country rap is a thing. Yeah. It's not good, mostly. I haven't heard it good ever. Maybe there's a good one. But, like, it's how it goes. There's, like, talk singing. There's, like, country rap. Like, it's a thing. It's
I've noticed that a lot of country music that, because I was listening to some just in, like, relation to, not necessarily preparing for this, but just, like, kind of, like, adding a foundation to my suspicion that I had, because like whenever they took Old Town Road, which once again is not a great song, like once they took it off, I was kind of like, oh, that's what country music sounds like. Like it, like you could get any of those dudes and be like, hey, are you making fun of us? And it's like, yeah, I'm making fun of you because I'm like I'm doing a sing talk my way through like what I think that you like. But I've noticed that a lot of country music is this, not as like, they're not singing, they're like talking to a beat and like, sing talking. Cause like,
it's not cool, they're just sing talking and listing nouns. Like they're just sing talking and saying truck and Solo Cup, which again, I don't know how Solo Cup became a country thing. That doesn't make any sense to me, but like, whatever. So I don't know. What I don't understand from the story you've told me is like, okay, I will say trap is a different kind of music, and adding trap into country is different. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, the dude did invent country trap, and like, okay, that is different enough that I could see why you would say it's different. Mm-hmm. But it seems, I don't know. It's like, well, why didn't anyone pull any songs when country rap came out? When people started making like rap verses kinda in the middle of their country songs, why wasn't that a big deal? Why didn't that become an issue? Why didn't that get pulled from the charts? Why is it only like, why is it seen as, and also why, I mean, whatever, genres aren't real. I mean, that's the frustrating thing, is like genres aren't real and genres expand and change over time. So like, I get some initial resistance, but it is a bad look to have a genre that is so into its identity of like, that's country to me. This is country. Every other song on the radio is a song defining we are country, and it's this very narrow, well, not really narrow. It's a very general description, but it is saying like people from rural areas, we are different. I really think the descriptions are terribly broad, but it's saying like we, this narrow group of people, are other from everyone else. Like 50% of the country lives in rural areas and 50% of the country lives in cities. And it's like, we are fundamentally different from people in cities because they don't love their families and like hug their grandpa or whatever. And it's, I don't know. It's a I don't know. I haven't looked enough into the situation, but it is a bad look to be like, oh, this doesn't fit. And it's like, well, why? The genre changes. Like you said, it's not Conway Twitty anymore. Like, there is country rap. This guy is from the country talking about his real lived experience in a rural area, from what you've told me. Like, he is talking about his real experience. He's not joking about his real experience, and he's bringing his own culture, being a black man, liking and making trap music, to a genre that he also grew up with and presumably likes, country music, and he's adding those two cultures together. But it's not a country song because what? Like, because it doesn't fit with your identity, and that's what makes it uncomfortable. Is like, there's such a heavy burden on identity. It seems like, what about him doesn't fit the identity of country music? Because he's a guy from the country telling his experience. And again, it's not like country rap is not on the radio all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, so
how is this not about racism?
Well, in defense of the country people ahead of the Billboard 100, what I'm thinking is, and like this is my gotta hear both sides argument on the whole thing.
That's fine.
I think the reason why I explain this is I feel like it has less to do with racism and more to do with not going through the proper channels. I think that country music, more than most types of music, has gatekeepers. There is, and like one thing that I've seen a lot upon this coming out is like a lot of country stars have been like not upset and not talking about how he is like just some like black kid, but it's more of like he didn't do it the right way. Like he didn't he didn't record it in Nashville. He didn't do like X, Y, and Z in order to go through the proper way. So I think that a lot of the argument has been that country music is one of the music genres that has yet to be like permeated by this like SoundCloud rapper sort of way. That
is a completely ridiculous thing you're saying. Go ahead.
This is my thought process here, because like you can see like the people that have made their way through country music, they're the ones that like, yes, there is like this talk sing country rap, however, but it went gradually through the way that most people do country music, that they signed with a label and they did this and this and this. And so for some reason they're a group of people that are really attached to like, you know, tradition. And I think that like this is that without anyone telling them that this was going to be a song or like whatever, like this thing came from a very rap based music sharing app, and then was a rap style song, and then just exploded onto the scene without like anyone's like go to or like checking, you know? So I imagine that like the people at Billboard were not, I don't imagine they care. Like they're just like, whatever, we're just telling you the numbers. What I'm thinking is that a lot of like record producers or whomever from Nashville, from other country recording places, were just like, whoa, we don't know what this is. We don't know what's going on. Like, you got to take this person off of this list because this isn't country music. And I'm just assuming that they're the ones that brought this to their attention. Because like, you know, like this is the first time this has ever happened to country music. There's no one getting big from like SoundCloud that's a country artist. This isn't happening. And
no, that's very convenient. It's kind of like when they wouldn't let black people vote, not because of racism. Don't be crazy. It wasn't because of racism. There was this law about the Grandfather Act, and if your grandfather hadn't voted, you weren't allowed to vote. And it's not about you being black and how we wouldn't let black people vote. No, it's not. No, we're not racist. It's that. It's just we care about the process, and your grandpa didn't vote, so you can't vote. Sorry, we would. We don't care that you're black. It's totally unrelated. We just really suddenly, all of a sudden, care really about the process. And that's why it's not country music. That's why it's not this genre of music, because you didn't sign with a record label. So it can't possibly be our kind of... It's not because you're black. No, it's totally not that. We really care about process, a thing that no one ever talks about.
But I mean, I'm not going to take that route, but I still...
I understand that you don't believe that, but that's a ridiculous argument.
I think that in the like on the ground, you know, a lot of people are like saying that's not country music. What they're saying is he's not white, you know, like, or like, I think that like
that's obviously what they're saying.
That's a more on the ground level of like, you know, fans listening to it. But I think that they like probably some of the more like higher ups people that have control over things like this are the ones that are saying he didn't go through the proper channels. And like for the
because they can't say because he's not white. They can't say that.
Yeah. But
because they're not allowed to say, well, we don't like it because he's not white.
And also this, and like another thing that happened is this song became popular. This song went on to the Billboard charts because people were making fun of country music. Like the whole reason it's there is because people on TikTok were doing the Yee-Haw challenge. They were making fun of it. And then out of nowhere, this thing gets slammed onto like a country song. And then I imagine people were like, whoa. Like, no, we're not going to have like Weird Al Yankovic like on this like top pop charts.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So
I mean that actually does make sense.
So I think it's a song like that got popular via a meme with a bunch of like ironic 17-year-olds like just doing like Yee and Han and like making fun of people. And then like next thing you know, like you're some producer in Nashville, and then you see this song everyone's making fun of you with on the Billboard charts, and they're just like, nope, that's not country music. Why is that not country music? He says I got lean all in my bladder. Are you kidding me? This is not a country song. And then like I guess Billboard is like, I guess it's not a country song. I don't know, and like took it off.
I mean, here's what the show's become. This is much like the Captain Marvel episode where I don't know about a thing and then you tell me something upsetting and I give a bunch of hot takes on it. And I don't want to be that way. Not that anyone listens to this show. I don't want to be the like mad social justice guy. Mm-hmm. The way you have explained it does sound to clearly be racism. I get why if you heard trap music in a song you would go, oh, wait a minute. This isn't country music. But, and again, people say, like, I don't know, people do make arguments about country rap that, like, this is bad. And, well, a lot of people make the argument it's bad, but that it's not real country. Like, there is an argument about real country. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like everyone's just, like stoked about white guys, talk singing. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. I get that there is an argument about this. This isn't completely new. And coming from it being a TikTok thing where it's like, people are making fun of country music, I see why you might get the idea that like, oh, this guy is making, like, this song is a parody of country music.
Mm-hmm. Because
it's just, I'm just on a hair trigger about that of like the grandfather act thing of like, well, no, it's not because he's a black kid bringing his culture to a overwhelmingly white genre, and we're just not letting that happen. It's because we really care about the record labels. Mm-hmm. I mean, that argument is now frankly ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I am of the mind that like if it is, and it probably is like a huge, I mean, like it is racist in the way, but like I feel like it's not helpful to talk about like racism being like super overt, and like there is racism that is super overt, but I feel like this one is one of those like it permeates inside of your head because of a way that you think, and not like I'm a record label. All I care about is money. I'm bad because I'm like a two-dimensional character from like a kid's movie.
Right.
But I think that the racism of it is found in that your first instinctive reaction when you hear the trap music and you see him, you're just like, he's making fun of us. And not that this,
right. he couldn't really,
and not that this is an experience that he has. And like, instead of asking him, or instead of going to him and like kind of getting to know who this artist is, it's immediately being like, nope, he's making fun of us. And like, how do you know he's making fun of us? Because he is. Like, look at him. Like, he's a rapper. He's a rapper from Atlanta. Like, he has no idea what's going on. So I think that is, it's found not in the overtness of it, but it's found in the immediate reaction that is like, no, of course he doesn't understand us.
And that's why I brought up the whole identity thing, because it is a culture that so constantly is like reaffirming its identity, and the one thing that's hanging over it that no one mentions is that it's white.
Mm-hmm.
Like part of the cultural identity of country is like, oh, and we're white. And again, don't at me. I know there are black people who are into the country identity. Like, I get it. Like, that is a thing. But, and again, I don't want to be like hot take social justice guy. But yeah, I agree. There is like it's a bad look. Mm-hmm. It's a bad look to be like, well, he's not country. It's like, why? Like, he has said clearly, I'm not joking. And I'm gonna guess that the Billy Ray Cyrus version is allowed on the country charts.
Well, actually, that's still up for debate. Like, that's one that there is, like, the last that Billboard was asked about it was like they're putting it into consideration. And I feel like they're not going to put it in consideration.
That sucks.
I don't think they're going to be putting it into consideration because Billy Cyrus is on it. I think they're going to be putting it into consideration because of the giant backlash that's happened about it. And so they have like, two options.
Now a white guy.
I feel like it wouldn't. I feel like it would be like, like this is snowballing out of control. Like there's celebrities on this now. Like this was a so easy to contain problem, and now this is an uncontainable problem, and it's our fault.
Yeah.
So we have two options. One, we can let it on the charts and like take the hit and have people say it's like, oh, it's because Billy Cyrus is on it, it's because a white man's on it. It's like we can take the hit or we can dig our heels in. Those are the two options. So I think they're like weighing that, like what is the one that has the least amount of destruction involved with it? Is it the one of just like taking the L? And because like I think they're either gonna, it's like which one is like what is the lesser of two evils? Because they're going to be taking an L either way. One is they're going to say, okay, trap music is totally cool now and it's allowed forever. Or B, like they're going to dig their heels in and be like, absolutely not. This is still not country music. And then from there, I think that one is going to open up a lot of like scrutiny of what they do allow to be country music. And I think that one could be a lot more problematic than just letting the song be on the Billboard 100 and then just taking the minor loss that is people saying they only did it because a white man's on it.
Or putting the original song back on the Billboard Top 100 or what the country charts. Like, why don't you just put the regular song on there? Look, here's the thing. I understand on some level why the original song you would not see as country, because trap music is very different than country music. And if it's only half country music and half a trap song, okay, fine. Like, I get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm changing my opinion on this. It's just a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad look to say he's not country. And it's like, why? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a totally reasonable decision. Stuff's stressful.
Let's go back to talking about Left Shark. Remember that? Remember how fun that was?
Oh, yeah. Left Shark is so funny, man. He didn't know the dance. Oh, man. That was so funny because it's such an easy dance and he didn't know the dance.
Yeah, but did you know that Left Shark was actually black? Damn. Now, who are you?
Now I'm the racist. Now I'm the racist. No, I'm glad no one listens to our show. That really makes it a lot better. I'm constantly worried. Like, man, I hope I don't say something like
super problematic.
And well, not even problematic. I'm really worried about being problematic, but I'm also worried about being reductive of other people. Like, I just worry of like, I'm going to be like, Republicans, and like sound like an idiot and just like be reductive to a lot of people that aren't me. And that sucks. I also don't want to be problematic, which is essentially being like reductive and offensive to a bunch of people that aren't me.
Yeah.
I'm just in a weird spot where I'm really trying my best. And I like, there's a lot of, yeah.
Well, that's the name of the name of the show will lend into,
yeah, it's getting better.
So that it's almost like our get out of jail free card. Like, listen, we're getting better. No matter what you hear us say, we are not stuck in this. Like we are moving out of it. We are getting better. We are trying to change ourselves. We are actively trying to get better.
That's true. I mean, I am like always thinking about this kind of stuff and like, am I being reductive? Am I being offensive? Am I assuming things that I really don't know? But then there are like liars in the world where you got to be like, no, that person does not deserve the benefit of the doubt because they are clearly a liar. Because if you give you know what I mean? Because there are people who, if you give them the benefit of the doubt, they'll just abuse it. And so like, you have to be on guard for that. But then like, don't just like, but then you can't generalize that of like, well, this person is clearly like a goblin monster, so everyone that believes anything similar to them is also a goblin monster. And it's like, well, no, but like some of them are, but like some of them are just like doing their best. I mean, everyone's doing their I think I'm going to rewatch Gravity Falls.
Ooh, that sounds like a good time.
As a point.
Yeah. made you that as well. One of my someone I recommended the show to has
our show.
No. Gravity Falls.
Oh, that's a better.
Yeah. They they were watching it and then started to get the sense that Grunkle Stan, that something was going to happen to him in the last episode. So they have not watched the last episode. They watched everything but the last episode. And I'm just like
the very last episode,
or Weird Mageddon, that entire 3-part thing. And I'm just like, what? Just what? Just watch it. And they're like, nope. Like, no, something's going to happen. And then they asked me if
spoilers, he doesn't get crucified. Like, what do you think is going to happen in this children's show?
Yeah, I think that it's like, and I was asking him, I was like, what? Like, yeah, what do you think is going to happen? It was like that, like, he's going to die and he's going to be dead forever. And it's like, well, it's the last episode. So, like, no matter what happens, like, that's the last time you ever...
He's dead forever?
Yeah, like, that's the last time you ever see him.
Zach, don't do that to me.
And then it was like, that's the last time you ever see him. And then and then they were like, nope, as long as I don't watch, as long as I don't, like, I think it's like the same mentality behind, like, as long as I don't read the last page, the book's never over. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, yes, it is.
Summer's over, Candy.
It's like, it's right there. Like, the last page is right there. It's like, nope, but I haven't read it. So the book's never over. It's like, okay. Like, that's their mentality behind, like, not finishing that show. So,
Summer's over, Candy.
Yeah,
man. That's also kind of the premise of the last 3 episodes. It's like, I don't want to leave Gravity Falls either, but like, you gotta grow up and leave Gravity Falls, and like, that sucks. And there's no two ways about it. Like, it sucks growing up, and it sucks being an adult, and it sucks having responsibility and having perspective and having to sit around all day worrying about whether or not you're being problematic. And it's way cooler to just be a kid. But like, summer's over, Candy.
Summer's over, Candy.
Gotta grow up. All right.
See you bye forever.